Morning Uganda Extra.
Well, thank you so much, and welcome back from the break. We now change our conversation to Prudential Best HR Practices, a survey initiative that is also ongoing. And of course, joining me in studio this morning is Grace Ami, the head of marketing from Prudential. You're welcome, Grace.
Thank you. Good morning.
Very good morning.
Happy to be here.
Thank you so much, and happy to be here with you. And joining us also is Beatrice Mujuni, the policy and advocacy communications officer from the Federation of Uganda Employers.
Yes.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for having me.
How is my brother Douglas Opio?
He's very well. Sends his regards.
Well, thank you very much. I know he could be actually watching. First one, very quickly onto this. What is the Prudential Best HR Practices survey initiative that you're working on, and who is in this thing?
Thank you for that question. The Prudential Best HR Practices survey is a talent management survey that is being run by Prudential Uganda in partnership with Human Capital International, PricewaterhouseCoopers, Uganda Investment Authority, Federation of Uganda Employers, Private Sector Foundation Uganda. And what we are doing with this survey is pretty much reaching out to employees, finding out what they think about their workplaces, the conditions in their workplaces, but conditions pertaining to business, business operations. And what we intend to achieve with this is feed the business managers, the business owners with these insights to better the workplace environment.
Why now?
Why now? Times have changed. COVID changed a lot of things, a lot of operations. People are grappling to adjust to the new normal. Working remotely, needs for both employers and employees have changed. And not a lot has been done to understand the context. So the purpose of this is to understand the context of the employees and the employers now and adjust accordingly.
If COVID hadn't been here, would you do this survey still?
I am sure we could have done it, yes, but what COVID did to the advantage of all of us in the industry is to show us a need, and we stepped in to see that we meet it, yes.
Why should employers participate to you now, Beatrice from FUE?
Yes, thank you. Just like Grace mentioned, the pandemic has, come with a lot of challenges. As FUE as well, like other employers, we have, had a rough couple of 2 years. But we have been doing the employer of this kind of award for 20 years. And we are happy that, Prudential and the other partners, approached us. For us, it is a question of we would like employers to improve. And through this survey, engaging with employee insights, employers would be able to improve their entities. Employers would be also be able to share the best practices that they are doing. So many employers have been doing a lot of, good work, even with a pandemic, at hand. So the employers can be able to learn from each other and showcase their best practices. So we really want employers to come on board as they have been in the previous years and really engage with this. And the fact that now we have employees really actively participating, we call upon all employers to embrace the new approach that we have taken with a partnership with Prudential. For us, we believe partnerships are gold, and we want to set an example also for other employers to, embrace collaboration, embrace partnerships, especially now with the, new normal and the unprecedented times that have presented themselves.
How many of such initiatives have you done? Is this a first phase? Is this the first time you're doing it, or it's one of the many that you've done so far?
So, like I said, it's one of the many that we have done, except that this time around we're taking a different approach with the partnership that we have had. We have been doing AIR for 20 years. It has been different, but now with this partnership, we are involving employees more to get their insights that would inform, recognizing and awarding the best employer.
Okay.
Yes.
To Prudential, how does somebody participate, or how do organizations participate? How do they come in?
Okay, thank you. So participation is in two ways. First of all, it's free, completely free. So what we encourage, like my colleague has said, is for organizations to take ownership. So when they do, they reach out to us. You can either visit the PwC website or the Prudential website, or the FUE social media platforms. They are actively sharing. So we have a link. It's an online tool that is seated on either website or the platforms I have shared. So what organizations do is when you get that link, you share it with your employees, they fill it out. And the feedback is received by PwC. Yes, that's how you participate.
Okay, so your judgment, and I'm sure it will be PwC, of course, that will do looking into all these and the surveys and stuff like that. So how does a company qualify, or, well, I'm looking at the criteria.
Qualify to participate in the survey? So the survey is open to any organization that, first of all, employs people, small, medium, large. As long as you have employees from 20 to 1,000 and over, you're automatically qualified to participate in the survey. But also to clarify that it is not a ranking. You know, there are surveys that you participate in, and then you're ranked as best, second best. It is not a survey to rank. It is a survey to provide insight on best employment practices. So similar to what my colleague has said, previously FUE has been conducting survey precursor to the employer of the awards. So this year what we are doing differently is the insights that we receive from this survey on the best employment practices are what FUE now is going to benchmark to do their survey that precedes the Employer of the Year Awards. So currently, our focus on this particular one is best employment practices for any organization. Participating is free. All they need to do is to visit those PwC website, Prudential website, get the link, share it out, participate. But also to add to that is, because a lot of data is being shared, people will question about confidentiality. That's why we have PwC on board. Okay. As you are aware, they have a very good reputation when it comes to audit.
They do.
So their role as the partner is to receive this data, analyze it, and then use it to prepare the report.
What is Prudential in this country?
Prudential Uganda, I am so happy you have asked that question. I love to talk about it. Prudential Uganda is an insurance company, and we are mothered by Prudential PLC. And briefly, our purpose in this country, as across the board where we are, is to help people get the most out of life. And in Uganda, we do that largely through our services. We try to see that people have access to affordable health care through our insurance services. We also see that parents are able to afford for their children's education. We also see that the public generally is able to have access to inclusive financial services. So in Uganda, that is Prudential.
Very good. And I just want to know how and why Prudential is, I think, the lead agency in this best HR practices survey. Why Prudential, an insurance company?
An insurance company. Like I've mentioned, our purpose is to help people get the most out of life. And that is not just as a service that we provide. It's a value that we live both internally. So it's something that we have been championing internally. We do a lot of surveys internally, and we have done a mega shift in our HR practices. So when COVID happened, like I mentioned earlier, we had conversations with stakeholders, and we thought, how do we take this conversation to a much broader level? That's why you see us bringing other stakeholders on board to champion the conversation. So for us, it's a value that we live. It's something that we do because we believe the whole of Uganda should be taking this up, considering the times. Yes.
To you, Beatrice, how do you think this particular survey is going to help, is going to enhance employment in this country? Now, looking at that angle of you coming from FU, for example, how do you look at this helping, benefiting, and also enhancing employment in this country?
Thank you. I think for me, let me first say that it's actually a great pleasure that we are seeing employers, for instance Prudential, for instance PwC, actually coming up with these initiatives. That's already a sign that the industry is growing, the industry is changing, the employers are starting to recognize the importance of of capacity building, of sharing, of bettering themselves in terms of boosting productivity levels by basically understanding the need of an employee and how they can align their entities to suit these needs. So I think for the industry it's going to be good because employers are going to be able to benchmark from what other employers are doing. So basically learning and sharing from these experiences, and I feel like employment is going to increase, like to create jobs, because once we believe that when you are a good employer, your employees benefit. So structures will be able to reshape, and they'll be able to function even better. So employment will definitely increase. I think that would be one of the major things. And yeah, so we'll see more job creation, we will see more job sustainability, and productivity levels boosted in the long run.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you so much. To you, Grace, how long is this survey going to take, and has it started or not yet?
Yes, the survey started. We launched the survey at the end of last month.
End of September?
Yes, end of September. And we are currently receiving feedback from different organizations until the second week of November, about 15th of November, yes.
Okay, finally, to both of you, where do you see this taking us after all this has been done, and how do you see it from your angle, especially from Prudential? How do you see it helping or enhancing or making the human resource industry of this country better?
First of all, I see it as a very continuous process.
Okay.
Because it can never be fruitful if it's a one-off. And like she rightfully said, the quality of employees ultimately affects business outputs. So whichever organization receives this feedback, because the report is going to be absolutely available and free, and enacts the findings, will definitely have a report of success and improvement moving forward. And luckily for us, we trust that as we continue to evaluate ourselves and improve our processes, we shall have only positive tales to tell moving forward.
Okay,
so,
finally from you, tell us the why, the what, the when, and maybe where, as we get done.
So my call is to all organizations, medium, small, large, to participate in the survey. It's completely free, like I said. Please visit the Prudential website, visit the PwC website to get the link to the survey, visit FUE, visit PwC, PSFU, visit all of us, our social media platforms. The link is available. Why you should participate is there's a lot to be shared from across the industry.
Okay.
I mean, every big brand, every small brand is going to share about what they do. That is very good insight for all of us to pick from. So if there is anything in it for you, it is a lot to learn, shared learning from the industry.
Okay.
Across, yes.
And finally from you, your last comment and pride and call?
My last comment is basically the fact that the survey is as good as the number of people that participate, because the more insights we get, the more the richer our report will be, and it will be of course beneficial to many. So we're calling upon employers to please embrace this initiative. Those that have participated in AIR in the previous years have can attest to the fact that AIR has they have improved. It's a very prestigious award that can also enhance the image of an organization, to show that they value their employees, they value their work, and they would like to grow. So please, employers, let's embrace this. Visit us, like my colleague Grace has said, and let's get this going. Let's better the employment industry. Let's create jobs. Let's thrive amidst these unprecedented times, really.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank you so much, Beatrice Mujuni, and thank you so much, Grace Ami, for both allowing to join me this morning, and of course to remind the public that the Prudential Best HR Practices Survey is on. It's an invitation to all organizations all of you participate in this thing for as long as you employ persons in this country. She says if you employ 20 or 30 or 40 or 200 or 2,000 or 2 million people in this country, please be part of this. And like you said, it's not about who is the best and second best and third best, but it's getting, of course, the best HR practices that we can all learn from a benchmark for the better of HR industry in this country. My name is Jagana Semakola Ziksoka, thanking all of you and stopping it up for today. Wishing all the best for God and my country as continue inspiring Uganda. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.